Hello. Quick disclaimer at the beginning. These are my thoughts and opinions, not quoting facts. Far from it. I don't even know half of them. Just random thoughts, okay? And also, I swear, I'm inclined to swear. Apologies if that's offensive. Let's talk about wank sock, right? Because I'm like, all day today, I'm like, nah, there's just something not sitting right. And I can't work it out in my head. So I thought if I do a video, I'll perhaps be able to unravel the thoughts in my head and make some sense of it to myself. Because I'm like, there's just something to me that does not ring true about this whole wank sock fandango, right? It just looks a little too staged. I was going to say easy, but it looks a little bit too staged for me. And I mean, I'm like very much trust no one, believe nothing kind of person. And the reason for that is that most of them lie, and especially on the world stage, because they're playing a role. Let's face it, these people are playing a role. Now, at first, I was just like, yeah, they're chucking him under the bus. You know, he's an easy scapegoat. He's the gimp. You know that he had his bloody head bog flushed at school. You know that. He's bog flush head man. He is that gimp that, like, everybody's like, you know, he was bullied. And if he weren't, he was bummed. No, that's allegedly. Perhaps. In my personal opinion. Perhaps he was either bummed or, you know, like, he was either somebody's bitch or he was somebody's bitch. But he's not an alpha male, right? I don't think I'm going out of my way by saying that. He just doesn't appear to be an alpha male. He's not manly. You can't imagine him changing attire, for example. So it's like, you know, like he's a figure of ridicule. He's a puppet. He's a caricature. I'm being really hard on him here, but he's getting paid very good fucking money for what he's doing. It's just, what exactly is it that he's doing? Now, obviously, this woman, and I don't even know her name, I think Oates. There's Oates. I think of Oates. When I think of her name, I don't know her first name. I want to say Oakshot, something like that. Anyway, blonde girl, really pretty lass. Really bad temper, right? Just all of a sudden, she's everywhere right now. She's being interviewed by everybody. Now, how, for a start off, is she being interviewed by everybody? Because this is damning to the whole pandemic fandango, right? How is she being allowed to go around and make money from all of these news outlets? We do have, Rishi Sunak has the power to veto that shit, to arrest her. You know, if she was in America, she'd have been offed. She'd have said something about Hillary Clinton, she'd be offed, even if she said it now in England. Do you know what I mean? There are people are silenced when they don't want them talking, and this is being promoted. Do you see where I'm coming from? Everybody's talking about it. Matt Hancock, it's like, oh yeah, let's just chuck him under the bus. He's already been chucked under the bus. Like, I don't think for a minute that snogging video wasn't staged as well, because he needed to get out. This is how these people behave. They create something to make something else happen. And that's what they did to get him out of there. Then he's going off. He's done it. He's done his stints now. He's come out of I'm a celebrity, get me out of there. He's already done celebrity SAS, which nobody's been told about before he went in. We only heard that he'd done celebrity SAS when there's an uproar about him being on I'm a Celeb. Do you know what I mean? Because that's when the news wanted us to know. And the news lets us know what these people want us to know at any given time. And all of those media outlets are coming together and giving this woman credence. Now, I watched one today, I don't know who it was, this lady interview, like, this girl's got a hair trigger. She has got a really bad temper, and I've seen her kick off at a few people now. If people don't ask her exactly what she, you know, like, no, you talk to me about what I've given the thing. Don't talk to me about what I'm being paid. Don't talk to me about my reasonings. And this woman said to her, yeah, but you've done this to other people before. So now, with this other, and listed a few of them, and now you've done it to Matt Hancock, because apparently she'd signed a non-disclosure agreement. And you've done this before to other people. How's anybody going to trust you now? She put the phone down. Oh, severed the video link. Just pissed off, basically, because she wasn't being asked what she wanted to be asked. You know, she did a David Icke. Sorry, David. It seems like I'm picking on you at the minute, but that's what David Icke does. It's like, literally, just goes off on one, gets angry, and just makes a fool. And she's made herself look like a fool. She's made herself look like a nasty piece of work that is literally, that nobody can trust. It's like, well, Matt Hancock, when he gave her the gig and when he gave her all of those text messages, as WhatsApp messages, he will have known that she's done this before. Do you see where I'm coming from? It's like, it doesn't fucking add up. Why would you, when you know you're giving you know these secrets you're passing to her, she's got form of going and taking what she's given and giving it to somebody else. Why can't that be her job? It looks like that's what her job is. She's like a professional whistleblower. Do you know what I mean? For, you know, like, and nobody's coming out and going like, oh, no, shut her up. In fact, and this, I'm like, because another one I don't trust, and I'm so sorry, because he has given out some good information, as is David Icke. You know, nothing against him, but I'm just like, you know, TikTok, does this add up? Like Dr. John Campbell, watch a lot of his stuff. He put out a video today, whether he shared it to surreptitiously stick it out there, whether it was put in there to surreptitiously make it look dodgier than it was so people would focus on it. But there's a line in there, Matt Hancock said this geezer who was speaking to, chubby fella, that's all I know, might be called Dan, don't know, said, oh, I might be able to get Bill Gates involved to endorse our vaccine plan. And Matt Hancock replied, apparently, according to this printout, Matt Hancock replied, well, considering the chips that we've had implanted for him, I think he owes me one. Now, this makes it look like in those vaccines, Bill Gates had hidden a microchip. Does it not? There's been talk of this before. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the RFID things. I don't know. But it makes it look like there's something seriously dodgy. And John Campbell paused on this particular thing, read it out a couple of times. Now, my conspiracy brain, the tinfoil hatter in me, is like, why did he pause on that? Was it so that we could go, hold on a minute? Or was it so that we could go, hold on a minute? Or obviously it was so we could go, hold on a minute. Maybe, allegedly. But was that so that we then have a new conspiracy theory that we run with, that we're getting panicky about? I don't personally think that there are chips in the vaccine. That's why it stuck out to me, because he's the doctor. He would have said, what? There's chips in what? What he actually said was, so it looks like maybe Bill Gates profited personally from these vaccines. It's like, no, that's not what chips means. But implanted chips we've injected, it's not like, that's not, surreptitiously, does that mean that, of course, Bill Gates were making money off it? That's by the by. That's old fucking news. Do you know what I mean? He invested heavily in this shit. You don't invest heavily if you're not getting something out. That's what investments are about. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so it's like, let me back a while ago. I confidently predicted a false flag in March, because obviously this is the month where the clinical trials end. So they need something massive as a look over there distraction tactic, right? Now, if all of this information was all fucking made up and dumped and it's false, right? And literally, because she's getting paid good money for leaking it, right? And like she's done for other things. If it's bunkum, if a lot of it is made up, even if just some of it's made up, if a lot of it's been redacted, they've just let some bits through that are truth, but planted things like the chip thing, so that people go, whoa, 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 whoa. And I confidently expect. This first thing I did was post a photograph of it on Facebook when I saw it and went, chips? Like, what do you mean, chips? Do you know what I mean? But the more I think about it, and this is the thing, my head's just going at the minute. It's like idea soup in there. And I don't quite know. I just know that I think there's something dodgy. People aren't allowed to whistleblow in the mainstream media. The mainstream media is owned by the people with a vested interest in us not knowing anything. They lied to us throughout the whole fucking pandemic. They took away our rights and freedoms. We now have got a generation of kids who are fucked in the head. And we sat by and you know that old song, if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. Our children were next, and now their children are being made into fucking voiceless robots. They daren't speak to each other. They daren't even breathe the same fucking air. We've allowed that to fucking happen. I'm starting to ramble. I'm going to stir my spaghetti bolognese. But literally, let's have a conversation about it. Well, tell me what you think. Like, add me on Facebook. And let's get discussing and bring everybody in. Let's talk about this with fucking everybody. That's a different video, the old convergence jobby. But yeah, I just think that something isn't right. Oh yeah, finish the fucking thing. So I think, because at the end of March, the clinical trials end, that I've said for a couple of months, that I think there's going to be a false flag. Maybe that is why this is such big news now. Maybe there's something going to come from it. Maybe maybe it's just the start and they're going to drop something else. I don't know. I just know that they really need us to be distracted at the end of these clinical trials, because somebody's going to start tallying up how many people have died. And then there's going to be fucking hell to pay. Well, there's not. Because if they leave it long enough, we've got the kids who've been muzzled up in the fucking playground. They ain't going to question anything. Just leave it long enough, mate. Seal it up for 20 years. You've got a world where, like, literally people are already just plugged into electronic devices and just letting the world go by. And the time for that has stopped. Don't need all of us, just need some of us, the backbone brigade, to saddle up on the armoured hippos and ride into battle and hold these bastards to account. But I don't think for a minute that these leaked WhatsApp messages are anything to do with actual stuff. They're talking about the pandemic like it's real, for a start. That, which means nothing. Like, don't take that as meaning anything. Obviously, obviously lots and lots of old people didn't die from midazolam. It was purely COVID. We know that. That's fact. No, I can't say it's fact. Can't say anything's fact. Everything's alleged, and I'm making no assertions. But obviously, there was a pandemic of some magnitude. That pandemic, it's not a thing. There isn't a pandemic. There isn't a pandemic. They've said it's no worse than the flu. Right? So it's all done and dusted. It's in the past. And now that it's in the past, obviously they've put the vaccines are in the past as well. They've knocked that on the head just in time for the end of the clinical trials. This is fact, by the way. Like that's like on the websites of the manufacturers. Like, I'm not, like, casting aspersions, but I'm worried. at what's going to be next. But I think that this is smoke and mirrors. I think that most everything that they do is smoke and mirrors, because everything that they do is done behind closed doors. And this is so public. Jazz hands public. Put on the old razzle dazzle, razzle dazzle. That's what I think's happening now. Tell me if you agree. Let's discuss it. And I shall speak to you all soon. And love to everybody. Bye.